Hello, Cooper Glover, 1972 here. Also, you know me as Brian, of course. Um, anyways, here's this week's um, week movies I've watched this week in review. I know this is delayed. I said in a previous few videos or so ago last week. Um, um, I don't think I was on Sunday. I think it was on Saturday last I checked, and I did a stream of me playing the guitar. I didn't really play the guitar. I don't know really how to play it. I just experiment. But anyways, I said I would put week my movies that I've watched during the week review on Sunday or at the most on Monday. But I last night there was a stream I wanted to watch that was on YouTube, so I had that, and there's something else that happened. I think I can't remember. Anyways, if I remember, I'll just write it on here if I remember when I'm if I edit, when I'm editing the video, maybe I'll put down what I forgot, whatever it is. I can't remember what it was, but anyways, let's get to this week's movies. Technically, they're last week's, but anyways, let's get to them. There are three films. I don't think I've seen more than three films this past week. Well, technically, it was last week. Um, and these are all library ones. And the last film I watched a few days ago, but I didn't listen to the commentary until today. So I thought it'd be more fair to give you a review after I watched it with the commentary. Yeah, but anyways, let's start off. First movie's Miller's Crossing. All three of these movies I got at the library where I work at. I borrowed them from the library. This is a movie by the Coen brothers. It's let's see. Um, it's directed by Joel Coen. I think it's written by Ethan Coen and it's produced by both of them. But it stars Gabriel Byrne, Marcia Gay Harden, John Turturro, and Albert Finney. Um, I'll say I thought I'd like this film more than I did. Oh, let me just give you some details about the crew and everything. The music's by Carter Burwell. Maybe he did the music for the X Files, or at least the X Files theme. I think he did. And the cinematography was by Barry Sonnenfeld, who I think, if anybody knows, just put it down there. I think he directed Men in Black. I haven't seen Well, I think I've seen parts of Men in Black, but I've never seen the whole thing. And I think he went on to a career after the Coen brothers, working with them on his own, being a director of his own. And I think he did well in the special features. I think he did three films with them. This is their third film. He did Raising Arizona with them, and he did Blood Simple. I do have Blood Simple. I like Blood Simple a lot. Um, I, I saw Raising Arizona a long time ago. I wasn't wild about it, but then I was seeing clips of it in the documentary features on here, and I thought maybe it looks kind of appealing. Maybe I should watch it again. But I haven't seen it in ages. the Coen brothers for me, they're kind of hit or miss. Like Bard and Fink, I really don't. I don't really like that film that much. But I do like Fargo a lot. I do like Blood Simple a lot. I like No Country for Old Men a lot. I guess I like The Big Lebowski, even though I'm not quite sure um, why I like it. I guess you could say. Um, but anyways, so let's discuss this a little bit. So Gabriel Byrne, I guess he works. I had to look this up on the Wikipedia online because I have a hearing problem. I listened to loud music in my past, and I wrecked my hearing a little, so I couldn't hear all the dialogue. And um, maybe I should have put the subtitles on. I sometimes I do that, because I'm hard of hearing sometimes. So I read the synopsis on Wikipedia so I could get a grounding on what this film's about, even though I could hear some of the dialogue, so I could catch some of it. So um, I guess the guy that Gabriel Byrne works for, played by Albert Finney, if this is me interpreting it correctly, it starts off with him and another character called Casper, and the guy that Gabriel Byrne works for, I thought he was the mayor of the city, but I guess he's not. I guess he's a boss, a political boss, and a gangster as well. And now, how does this work? I'm trying to figure out how this movie works. How the story goes about uh, revealing itself. He um, I think they. Oh yeah, they have fighting. They have boxing in this film, and they want to throw a fight or something. And oh god, I don't understand this film, but anyways, Gabriel Byrne has a I guess is it his mistress or girlfriend, played by Marcia Gay Harden, and the his is it his boss looks for him at his house and tries to find Marcia Gay Harden, and she's hiding, and he says he doesn't know where she is. I don't know what's happening, and then he decides at some certain point to join. Um, I guess he gets fired by Albert Finney's character, and gets hired by the character named Casper, and he's sent um, as a test of loyalty to Casper. He's required to kill the John Turturro character at a in the woods at a place called Miller's Crossing, hence the name. But things don't turn out the way that the story, the way some of the characters want them to. So, and there's a nice twist at the end with the John Turturro character. So I won't get into it much. Maybe I gave that away too much. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this film, and that because of that, I can't really totally love this film. I thought a lot of it was dialogue heavy. I thought it was kind of like the cinematography was really nice, but it's kind of got buried underneath all this jargon and dialogue. And I mean, there was these nice visual scenes, like with his former boss kicking him down some stairs at some bootleg party in the 1920s or whatever, and um, you know, Albert Finney, these people. I guess it's Casper's men are sending these two gangsters up to his room in his house to kill him, and there's that scene is pretty cool visually. So there's these visual scenes in the film that punctuate the film that really give it some umph. But the film in general, I mean, parts of it just really sag. So for that reason, I have to give it 3 stars. I barely recommend it. I guess it's a good film, but really not a great film. So next up, I have the John Wayne film, Sons of Katie Elder. This film is directed by Henry Hathaway. And by the way, the Miller's Crossing came out in 1990. So just to give you a notice on that. Sons of Katie Elder, this is directed by Henry Hathaway. This came out in 1965. Um, Trivia question here. Does anybody know if Henry Hathaway is related to Anne Hathaway? Maybe that's maybe that's not the case, but if you know, maybe put a comment down there. Um, I just as an aside here, I don't know if Anne Hathaway, if that's a real name or if that's a stage name. The reason I say that is because I think Shakespeare's wife was named Anne Hathaway, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. But anyways, back to this. So um, this stars John Wayne, of course, as you see on the front there, and it stars Dean Martin, and it stars George Kennedy and Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper makes like he's a smaller character in this film, a minor character. He's a significant character in the film, but he's not well. He's sort of a major character, sort of in between major and minor. Anyways, at the start of this film, the sons of Katie Elder arrive in the town that they grew up in for the funeral of their mother, named Katie Elder, and she's sort of like been I had to read a synopsis of this on Wikipedia because I sort of forgot what this film was about and everything. But anyways, Katie Elder loved her sons even though they sort of abandoned her. The town loved her, and this is a story that their father gave away I think it's a ranch in I can't remember Clearwater, Texas. I think the name is Clearwater, the name of the town. And at the start of the film, one of the villains, I think he develops into a villain, played by George Kennedy. He's waiting around. I think he's waiting around for this John Wayne character to appear, and the John Wayne character does appear shortly after the start, observing the funeral from a hill. So, but anyways, so the sons meet each other at the start of the movie, and they're trying to discover what their mother left in the will for them, and the ranch that they grew up on has been bought by these people. I think their names are the Hastings, and the son of the Hastings is played by Dennis Hopper, and maybe he's worried that that the Katie Elder children will inherit their ranch, even though they got it through a card game through the Katie Elder's husband, their father. And John Wayne doesn't buy it, I think, because I think somebody says like he was drunk when he gambled away the ranch or whatever. So, anyways, each of the four sons have like some kind of significant function. The John Wayne character. Now I'm trying to get this straight. I maybe I'd have to consult the Wikipedia, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to stop it for a second here, and I'll be back right on, just so I can refresh my memory. Okay, so let me try to get this quick so I don't forget it. John Wayne is a gunman, maybe infamous gunman. Dean Martin is a gambler. The second youngest son is a hardware dealer, and the youngest son, who's like in his 20s or something, it's quite a stretch between him and John Wayne's age, is a college boy. So I got that out of the way. So anyways, they go to town, and they and they try to see what's what their mother left in the will, and they don't find really that much. And so then they get framed for killing the sheriff of the town, and they're taken um, to this. They're taken to another. They're being conveyed to another place on carriages um, for like trial or whatever. But they get ambushed and they end up in a gunfight. I hope the Miller's Crossing thing I didn't give too much away. But anyways, I'll try and keep this succinct and try to not tell the ending of this particular movie. Keep the Sons of Katie Elder I'm referring to. So, anyways, boy, I'm thinking of the plot. I'm probably going to give away the movie if I don't think through it enough. But so anyways, a few of the sons get hurt. I won't tell you what happens to them as to their outcome. And I can't remember what happens to the George Kennedy character. It was all right, the film. Let me see. How many stars did I give this film? I gave it. And some other details about this film. Elmer Bernstein did the music for this film, who also, I believe, did the music for Cape Fear, the original edition of Cape Fear, which also was carried into the Martin Scorsese version. And the cinematography was by Lucian Ballard. I don't know if Lucian Ballard did one of Kubrick's movies. I think he did. I think he did The Killing for him. But I'm not positive. If you know, put your comment down there. I gave this film 3.5 stars. I guess I thought it was a good film. The music wasn't too bad. It's not a great film. It's a little above good. I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to destroy the pacing of this video by, hemming and hawing. I'm trying to be brisk, with this. But let me see. So, anyways, the three brothers, the three older brothers, want their brother to go to college because that's what the mother wanted her youngest son to do. And John Wayne is saying, I fouled my life up, but you're not going to do it. And so I guess I'll leave it at that as far as the story and everything goes. Now, let me say some gripes about this film. And it's basically, I think it's basically in reference to John Wayne. John Wayne has been in some good movies. He's been in The Quiet Man. He's been in Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. He's been in The Shootist. I haven't seen True Grit. I've seen the Coen Brothers, which I really liked. But he was in Stagecoach, pretty good movie. So he's been in some good movies. The Quiet Man. I don't know if I said that before, but so he's been in some good movies. And Searchers is the inspiration for one of my favorite movies of all time, Taxi Driver. But I don't really love The Searchers. I don't really like it that much. But John Wayne, to me, I don't think I really like him that much. I don't like him as a person. He said like racist things. He was saying, I know I'm going out of the context of the film, but he was saying things like, blacks had liked being Jim Crow. They liked being segregated. They liked getting, being treated lesser than white people and all that, and he's fine with it. He made a movie called The Green Berets. I've never seen it, but I think it glorifies the Vietnam War in a bad way, in the sense that Um, it, of course, we didn't win the Vietnam War, the U.S., but um, it's like a this is, of course, the Green Berets came out before the Vietnam War ended, and I think it's supposed to be like a positive look at, like, we're going to succeed in Vietnam and we're fighting communism, and he's like, um, so the way John Wayne treats the younger brother character in this film, I really took offense at. The younger brother character is made to look like a nincompoop. He's made to look like a weakling. Um, and I hate the fact that John Wayne actually physically hits him. I think some of the other characters hit the young man too, like Dean Martin, for example. And Dean Martin is sort of like trying to be like nice to the John Wayne character. Like, I'm getting along with you fine. You're my pal, And I just didn't find that very. So I guess my gripe is with John Wayne. I just don't like him as a person. I don't think. Um, the more I think about it, the more I've heard about him. Um, he didn't really like people that express their emotions. I think I'm basically talking about men. Like if a man cried, he regarded that as very weak in a person. And just I just can't. That sort of colors my judgment of this film. But he has been in some good films, yes. I have seen films of his. I'm thinking basically of The Quiet Man offhand, but there's a few other films of his that I think are pretty good. But I just don't like him as a person. And to finish it off, we had this film, Blue Valentine, with Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams. It's directed by Derek. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name correctly. Cian France, Cianfrance. It came out in 2010. It's edited by John Helton and Ron Patton. The reason why I mentioned the editor is because the director and one of the editors is on the commentary for this film, and the music is by Grizzly Bear. I guess it's a band or something. So, what do I think of this particular movie? Looking at the special features about the making of the film and how they created the process of making the movie was pretty fascinating. How they made the characters very organic and raw and very developed through like method acting. Um, the Ryan Gosling character worked at a real moving company, you know, so he could live the character. Um, they 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 had a house that they lived at, the two characters, and they actually lived there for an actual month. Um, so so it became very it could become very natural to them. Um, so they fall in love. Um, where did they meet? Oh, they meet at a what do you call that place? Assisted living or nursing home, and and so they meet there, and then they meet again on a bus, and then it goes in between present and past, and they flirt with one another. There's this nice scene where Brian Gosling is playing a ukulele and singing a song, and Michelle Williams is tap dancing to it. And um, how they did that particular scene is they the director told each of them, um, do think of some kind of talent that you have or develop it, and don't tell your co-star what it is. And then on the day that we film this particular scene, do that particular thing that I told you about. So keep it in your back pocket, he says. So they do it, and Ryan Gosling plays a song with the ukulele, and Michelle Williams dances to it. It's kind of a magical scene. There's a scene like with a rainbow before Ryan Gosling gets on the bus, where the character Michelle Williams' character is on. Um, it also tells the volatility of their relationship, where things go bad. That it's not. I guess that's why it's called Blue Valentine rather than Valentine. Um, it's uplifting, and it's heart wrenching, and I what else can I say about this particular movie? Uh, well, they have a daughter, but the daughter, I don't know if Ryan Gosling is the. I think the film leaves it up in the air as to who the actual biological father is, but he takes care of her. He takes care of he fathers her. He adopts the role of parent. So, but anyways, at the start of the film, they're looking for the dog that they have, Megan, the golden retriever, and it turns out something happens to the dog very close at the start. So I don't know how further much I can go into this, but it has very nice peaks and valleys of drama, sad scenes and uplifting scenes, and there's some pretty there's a few erotic scenes in here, but they're not cheapened. They're not like um, they're not garish. They're not, if that's the right word. They're not um, pretentious or anything. They fit. They're very natural, and they're very organic to the story. They're not a sore thumb. So, anyways, I guess that covers that film enough. And I give this film, just turning my phone back on because it keeps turning itself off. I give this film 4 stars. I recommend this film. So this is probably a great film. So, but I don't know if it's like a really great film, but it's not too bad. I think you probably enjoy this. So that does it for this week. I took out 2 other movies out of the library that I have to watch. Um, the streaming one of the streaming sites that I use called Mubi, MUBI. They have a whole bunch of movies on there right now, and like one of them expires tonight. But we have it at the library, so I don't have to worry about catching it before it expires. So I'm gonna. I guess I'll have to tackle those films. I gotta probably get going on watching some of those movies, because if I don't, they're all going to leave and I won't see them. So I might be busy watching a lot of movies. So, anyways, that does it. Maybe I'll put some garage band songs up. I have no idea when I'll put them up. I mean, this movie watching on Mubi, the film's expiring when they do, and being so many of them, maybe there's like 5 or something down there that I want to watch, or 6, or something like that. So that might get in the way of me putting a garage band song on my channel. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Um, and yeah, so I don't know if I'll put a television. I don't know when I'll do some television stuff, but when it happens, you'll obviously see it on my channel. So, and and Fandor, I go on Fandor, and I log on there and I see all my movies in the queue, but it won't let me access the website. And I think I've read on Google that it's a streaming site like Mubi, that everybody was laid off there, and that was sold to an undisclosed investment firm. So I think they're out of business. But I heard about this new streaming site called Ovid that I might get on board with. So enough. That's it. I've talked long enough. And leave your comments down there if you care to. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, and bye now.